C'est frate.
Good afternoon. How are you guys doing today? Hey, before I get started, I want to introduce my wife, and I'm not going to put my lapel mic on because I want Donna to come up here. And you guys are in for a treat today. I bring Donna with me as often as I can as we're traveling the state campaigning this governor's office. She is a very active part of this campaign. Now, she usually gets a short end of the stick because she works all day and goes with me at night. And campaigns, I'll drag her halfway across the state. We get home at sometimes 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning. She's back at work the next day while I'm kind of sleeping in. But we are campaigning around the state and sharing our vision and our message. And I'm going to visit with you about that here in just a few minutes. But Donna is a lady in every sense of the word. We've been married for 37 years, and I wanted to give you an opportunity to meet her because she is definitely my better half. And everything that you see here today primarily is because of the direction and the help of my wife and the input and the influence that she has had on me throughout our lifetime. So if you would, please greet my wife, Donna.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for being a part of the process. Thank you for being engaged. Thank you for making a difference in your world. It is a wonderful opportunity for us to be here and to be with you today, and we do appreciate that. I thank you for taking the time to review candidates and make a decision on who you're going to vote for. And I can tell you personally that when I am making that decision, there are a couple of things that are very important to me. And that is, I would like to know that that individual is a person of integrity and a person that's honest. Now, I know both of these words are common words in political materials. You can pick up about anybody's material and you'll see it right there. But what I'd like to do is give you a couple of reasons why I would use those words to describe my husband. My husband's been a business owner in Oklahoma for 30 years, 2 different businesses. One of those was a heating and air conditioning company where he provided services to Oklahomans. And as many of you know, we love our air conditioners in Oklahoma and all of our heat and humidity. So many times in the summer months, it would be 24/7, all the mechanics working, everybody working hard. And then it would sometimes come to a halt in the winter months. Numerous years, I saw my husband cut his own salary in order to maintain his payroll, to prevent layoffs, to continue to meet the obligations of his employees. In the political arena, I saw him do something that I have never seen another politician do before or since. And that was to rebate $30,000 in campaign contributions back to his contributors. He'd won his race, he had a surplus, and he felt the honest thing to do was to give it back. Many people have asked me what my role would be in my husband's life if elected to this position, and that's a very easy question because it's the same role that I've played in his life for 37 years, and that's the role of his best friend, his confidant, and his supporter. As far as what I might be able to share with the state of Oklahoma, it would be a personal passion for volunteerism. Randy and I have been involved in volunteering ever since our early marriage years. I was a homeroom mom, my husband coached Little League, we helped to teach students to read, and we have volunteered in many positions at our local church. For the last 6 years, I have served as secretary for the Education Foundation, where we raise funds and give those funds back to teachers in the form of grants for their special projects. I am a mentor at the Pregnancy Resource Center, where we help young women with unplanned pregnancies. And I teach finance classes to incarcerated women at the Turley Correctional Facility. Hopes that we will give them some life skills and help them to have a better opportunity for success once they've served their sentence and are released. I truly believe that helping Oklahomans make it a better state in which to live. I can tell you that my husband has my vote. And that I believe Oklahomans would be well served to cast their vote for Randy Brogdon for governor.
It's kind of obvious why I like to bring her with me, isn't it? I suspect I just picked up a few more votes right there. Okay, I'm going to try and be as quiet as I can with that. This mic, it has a little short in it. She mentioned she's going to vote for me, and I appreciate that, because in my entrance into politics, I ran for the city council. I was in a three-way race at that time. Me, one other opponent, and the incumbent mayor. And I won that race by 50% plus one vote. So Donna's claiming that, and I'll give it to her. You know, I mentioned a while ago, or I think Joe mentioned, that we've been married for 37 years, and I got her when we were very young. Both of us were young, and we laid some ground rules. We wanted to have a successful marriage. And to have a successful marriage, we knew that we had to just kind of lay the things on the table and get some things worked out early. So one of the things that we decided was I wasn't going to try and run her life, and I wasn't going to try and run mine. And I can tell you things have worked out beautifully for the last 37 years. Let me thank you, number one, for being here. Let me congratulate you for being involved. What an opportunity we have ahead of us this year in the state of Oklahoma. You realize that the state of Oklahoma is leading the nation in so many issues around the country. Whether it's the 10th Amendment, the legislation that we ran last year, opting out of the Real ID Act legislation that I ran 3 years ago, 37 other states copying our legislation and opting out of this unconstitutional act. Janet Napolitano stood before the cameras just about 3 months ago and made this statement. Real ID is dead because the states just wouldn't cooperate. You know, I'm excited to realize, yes, give yourself a hand. I'm excited to realize that people around the state of Oklahoma and around this nation are awakening to the fact, not only that something is wrong, but that we have an opportunity to seize the moment. And I want to talk to you about some very important things today. But before I get into the nuts and bolts of my stump speech, I want to introduce myself. I met some new people today. So I want to take just a few moments and introduce myself and answer for you, who is Randy Brogdon? I think it's important that you know who I am, what I believe, what I stand for, what my worldview is, what causes me to make the decisions that I make. First of all, I'm a third generation Oklahoman. Growing up, my dad had by far the most tremendous influence on my life. At a very young age, he taught me and instilled in me a great work ethic. He was an old refrigeration mechanic, and I used to love to go to work with my dad. And had a pretty important job back in those days. My job was to hold the flashlight. But at such a tender age, Dad taught me the honor of work. He taught me how valuable self-reliance was. When I was 14, I had a paper route. Then I moved up. I started flipping hamburgers. Then I really got a pay increase when I started sacking groceries after wrestling practice in high school. I'm the 17-year-old senior in high school who loaned my dad $500 and my 1963 Chevrolet so Dad could fulfill his great American dream and start our family business. I'm the entrepreneur who for 30 years continued to build my businesses, create jobs, and provide opportunities for my employees. I'm the young man who fell in love with my high school sweetheart, and started our family, raised two little boys into fine young men. I'm the lucky man who is still in love and still